Hello and welcome to another match reaction on Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzie and I'm your host for today's show. We did it, Reds. Liverpool managed to beat Billy FC, aka Chelsea, 1-0 to win the Carabao Cup Final. It was boys against men for most of the game, but those boys worked their socks off today and deserve all the praise. So what we'll do during the show, we'll relive the match as we analyze the key moments in the game. But before we do, let's look at the lineups of both teams, which I'll show a graphic with you guys right now. And here we go. So in terms of the Chelsea lineup, exactly what I expected when I did the match preview with Double D the other day. Shout out to Double D. Formation 4-2-3-1. No surprise in terms of how they lined up. For Liverpool, I think for us fans, we were hoping to see Darwin Núñez and Mohamed Salah available for the fixture. Unfortunately, they weren't. They didn't even make the squad, and I include Szoboszlai as well. Same lineup that faced Luton Town, where we won 4-1, where we probably should have expected this lineup, but I think us fans were just hopeful to see some of the big guns in the lineup. In terms of the first half, Liverpool started the game very well in the opening 10 minutes. A couple early free kicks, but without really troubling the goalkeeper. Diaz has a looping header from a counter-attack. Difficult chance, but an opportunity nonetheless. McAllister has a fantastic shot from long distance, straight at the goalkeeper. But then moments later, Chelsea give the ball away. Diaz goes through on goal, hits the shot with plenty of power. A diving save for Petrovic. And then Chelsea almost opened the deadlock through a counter. But Kelleher makes a fantastic save from Cole Palmer's volley from close range. Huge opportunity for Chelsea. Unbelievable save from Kelleher for that one. Chelsea were very aggressive in the middle of the park, especially Caicedo, who makes a dirty tackle on Gravenberch and unfortunately stretches it off. No booking, as VAR are labelling it as an accidental slip. Absolute rubbish, in my opinion. Unfortunately, that looks like a broken ankle for a Dutch midfielder. Not sure in terms of the extent of that injury. Hopefully, it's not a long one and he's back into the team very, very soon. Liverpool make a sub around the 27th minute as Joe Gomez comes on for Gravenberch. We kind of had to change tactics. So Bradley moves to right wing and Joe Gomez slots into right back. But from there on, the momentum unfortunately switched after that Gravenberch's injury. Chelsea had more control in possession, but lacked that attacking credentials to cause any trouble. Around the hour mark, they were able to hit a counter-attack. Jackson goes through on goal, squares it to Raheem Sterling. He hits the back of the net. VAR checked the goal and ruled it out for offside. Very close call, as it was a factor of millimeters, in my opinion, there. Chelsea hit another counter-attack. Sterling to Gallagher, who cuts back a pass towards Palmer. But Robertson reacts first and makes a sliding clearance towards Kelleher. But Liverpool was so close to making it 1-0 straight after. Great cross from Robertson. Gakpo goes for a header, but unfortunately hits the post. So unlucky from the Dutch attacker. Liverpool then produced a counter-attack through Diaz. A lot of touches around that 6-yard box. The ball finally arrives to Conor Bradley, who shoots, but his effort is blocked by Levi Colwill. Chilwell and Bradley go toe-to-toe after both players clash. Both get booked. Chilwell needs to relax, in my opinion. He's not about that life at all. That's the end of the first half. A close encounter. I would say Chelsea had more possession, but Liverpool looked like they were getting closer to breaking that deadlock. The injury to Gravenberch was a big blow, but the boys need to find a way in the second half, and I think they did further down the line in the game. Second half, great start from Liverpool in the opening minute. Endo hits a lovely cutting pass towards Diaz, who drives down the wing, but is blocked by Disasi for a corner. Endo hits a volley from that corner kick, just misses the target. And then Chelsea hit Liverpool on the counter. This time it was Jackson who gets the best of Konate, squares it to Gallagher, who passes it to Enzo. He tries a back-heel shot, but completely misses the target. Cole Palmer hits a shot from the edge of the box, drags it wide. Elliott hits a decent volley from the right side of the box, parried away by Petrovic. At that stage, slight tweak in the tactics. Diaz was playing more infield as the number 9, and Gakpo shifted over to the left side. On his first attempt in his new role, Diaz drives with the ball, takes a shot from the edge of the box, but unfortunately lashes it high and wide. Liverpool have their moment and break the deadlock. Great set piece from Robertson to Van Dijk. And a great finish it was, but unfortunately it was ruled out as Endo blocks Cowell before Van Dijk heads the ball into the back of the net. An absolute joke, in my opinion. Now we've won the game, so I don't feel as angry as I did at the tournament. But FVAR and FPGMOL, they are an absolute joke. It happens far too many times against Liverpool. But luckily, it didn't cost us in the end. Disasi almost makes it 1-0 for Chelsea from a corner, but makes a complete hash of it. Diaz goes on a direct run from the left wing, lays it off to Gakpo, who lashes a shot over the bar. Fortunately, that body shape in terms of his positioning around the box was all wrong, as he was leaning back. And in those type of shots, you're always going to sky over the bar. 71st minute, Bradley comes off for Bobby Clark. Elliott switches to right wing. That allows Bobby Clark to move into the centre of midfield. Gakpo hits a lovely cross from the left side towards Harvey Elliott. Clipped away by Nkuku, who just comes off the bench. Then moments later, Bobby Clark drives with the ball, makes an instant impact, tries to thread the ball towards Gakpo, blocked by Chelsea. And Bobby Clark, in my opinion, probably should have gone for goal there. Cut in very nicely, had a bit of an opening there to score, but unfortunately wasn't able to shoot. But then Chelsea hit the woodwork as Palmer squares it to Gallagher, who flicks it towards the target, hits the post, but then bounces away from goal. Just 1 second, guys. I've just realized I need to get my charger. Just bear with me 1 second, please. Apologies, guys. Yeah, I had to get the charger, otherwise we would have to end the stream very, very quickly there. But back to what I was saying, into the second half, Liverpool produced another counter-attack. Great play by Diaz on the left wing. McAllister passes it towards Joe Gomez on the right-hand side. And for me, at that stage, I was thinking, is this the moment for Joe Gomez to get his first goal for Liverpool? Unfortunately not, as his shot was straight at the keeper. Chelsea then have a glorious chance. Gallagher through on goal, hits the shot, and another unbelievable save from Kelleher. He's really keeping us in the game, is what I'm thinking at that stage. Then moments later, Gallagher has another chance. This time his effort goes over the bar. 86th minute, Liverpool make a flurry of changes. Robertson, McAllister, and Gakpo come off for Tsimikas, McConnell, and Danz. The young players, for me, was the right call to bring them on. They brought energy to the field, which was something that I feel like we lacked in the last 10-15 minutes during the second half. Danz almost makes an instant impact, just like he did against Luton Town with a shot. Comfortable save in the end from Petrovic. And at this stage, I can't lie, Chelsea were applying pressure on us, and I'm feeling nervous as Chelsea looked to be the strongest team and maybe at that stage most likely to score. And they almost did with an attack that involved Konate blocking a shot and then a couple of saves from Kelleher. I couldn't believe we didn't concede there. It was, one of those crazy moments in the game. That wraps up 90 minutes. Thank God for the final whistle, as we were holding off for dear life there. So extra time we go. And the first half of extra time, Jadon Danz goes close to breaking the deadlock with a header. Petrovic tips it over the bar. Then Harvey Elliott has a glorious chance with a volley. He had quite a few volleys in this game, to be fair. And at this stage, I actually thought he scored because he hit the side netting. There was one section of the crowd that were cheering for that moment. Fortunately, it didn't hit the line of the goal. And Diaz on the counter-attack again on the left wing. Hits a low cross towards Dan, blocked by Chelsea. Tsimikas applies a right-footed effort towards goal, straight at the keeper. At that stage, I'm thinking Liverpool have been fantastic in the opening 10 minutes of extra time. The crowd were very vocal and really made their presence felt. A special atmosphere was brewing around Wembley Stadium, or shall I say Anfield South, and you can hear the support for the young boys on the pitch. Extra second half. Substitution for Liverpool. Kwanzaa comes on for Konate, who I believe was on a yellow card and pretty much looked a bit tired as well. So a good call from Klopp to bring on Kwanzaa. Chelsea start on the front foot as Mudryk is close to scoring. But to be honest with you, whenever he gets the ball, never fair. It was blocked by Joe Gomez in the end. Madueke goes close from the right-hand side for Chelsea, saved by Kelleher. Tsimikas has a shot with his right foot on the edge of the box, straight at the keeper. But then I thought we scored. Tsimikas hits a great cross towards the edge of the goal. Elliott knocks the ball towards the near post. Somehow, Petrovic makes that block and holds onto the ball. And then Clark cuts in from the left-hand side, hits a shot, and goes out for another corner. I'm looking at the clock. It was around the 20th minute of extra time. Not long to go. This is our moment. Tsimikas steps up, takes the corner, and this time it was our captain, Virgil van Dijk, heads the ball into the back of the net. No referee, no VAR can say anything or chat to me with regards to that finish. That was the winning goal. They tried to add bogus extra 3 minutes towards the end, but that didn't stop us. And that's the end of the game. Liverpool beat Chelsea 1-0 to win the Carabao Cup. Unbelievable performance from the Reds. Klopp's kids did the job against all odds. They were phenomenal today. They say you can't win with kids. Well, we certainly did today. Chelsea will be kicking themselves as this was their best chance of winning any silverware. And quite frankly, they blew it at half time, or shall I say extra time, because they just had no legs whatsoever. But hey, let's not be too petty on Chelsea. I found a very nice clip towards the end of the game, which I'd like to share with everyone. Very touching, if you ask me. So let me share with you guys. Let me know what you guys think.
Enzo, unlucky lad.
Sorry, guys, had to play that. Now that's one down, 3 to go. The road for the quad is now underway. So now it's time to do the player ratings. It's also a calling show as well, guys. So if you'd like to come on and have your say, the link is pinned in the live chat. The floor is yours. I'll try and get as many callers as I can after the player rating. So before I do, I see there's quite a few comments there. So let me go through them. Let's start from the top. Anfield Uncle Ross says, yeah, boy. Yes, boy, indeed. Just like we predicted, Uncle Ross. We got the win in the end. Daz said, big up Ozzie. Hope you're well today. I'm ecstatic today, Daz. Hope you're well as well. And just greetings amongst the community in the chat. Everyone's saying, how's everyone doing? Che Kismet, bless bro. What a day. What a day indeed. Yeah. Crazy game. But I'm glad we got the win in the end. And I'm just pleased for the boys that came on, because you don't expect to win a cup final in that manner. And I know Chelsea are a bit more of an underwhelming team right now, but they still had quality around the first team. They had players off the bench that could have done damage for us. We had a 16-year-old on our bench. So unbelievable effort from our boys. Fantastic today. And there's a few comments here. Jamie's live on. So Jamie's on afterwards. So yeah, make sure to tune in to Jamie as well. Everyone on the mad one today, Daz. Hope you feel better soon. Fair enough. I will, Daz. There's a few laughing emojis there. So let's get on with the player rating. So what I'll do, I will share the graphic and then let's go through it together, guys. So there we go. Shouldn't be, to be fair, I feel like everyone should deserve a 10 out of 10, but we'll be a bit more sort of precise in terms of our assessment of how everyone did today. Let's start with Kelleher. Wow. That's the best way I can describe his performance. Unbelievable saves today. And they weren't even just, a good routine save here and there. There were saves where, quite frankly, 9 out of 10, they hit the back of the net. But he stopped not even once or twice, quite a few times he saved us, I would say, during the game. Unbelievable confidence he showed throughout the game. And the thing is, he's our number 2 goalkeeper. And I'm not being disrespectful when I say that. But whenever he's played a cup final, he just steps up to the plate. He doesn't feel that pressure. And yeah, he was absolutely phenomenal today. Thank God he didn't have to go to penalties. But having Kelleher between the sticks, I would have felt confident going forward. So, no, he was phenomenal. Made some great saves. On the feet as well, he was really good. Tried to make things happen. Wasn't caught sort of off guard when he had the ball. Distribution was good as well. So, no, for me, he was phenomenal today. So, I'm giving him a 10 out of 10. I thought he was unbelievable today. On to the next player, Robertson. Robertson, for me, had a very solid game as well. Defending-wise, very good. Kept the shape fantastically. Up and down as well in terms of contributing towards our attacking play. He made that crucial save where he kind of make a sliding tackle and the ball ended up going straight to Kelleher. That was very, very important at that stage because it could have given Chelsea an early lead in the first half and that would have set the tone throughout the whole game. So no, for me, he was very solid today. So I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Virgil van Dijk, our captain, our number 4. What a phenomenal performance from him. Just got a video for you guys. He wanted to say a few words in terms of how he felt after the game.
Thought I was finished. Thought I was finished.
They thought he was finished. How wrong were they? Far from it, in my opinion. He has been phenomenal. All these rival fans calling Van Disney, shame on you. You know, there's time to be shameless as a rival fan, but don't ever doubt the quality of Virgil van Dijk. The guy has been one of the greatest centre-backs for years. And for me, in history, in my opinion, Premier League history, I'd definitely say he's one of the greatest. And I'm not just going based on the reaction of today. I know what I've seen over the years. There's no one that technically beats him, in my opinion, in the Premier League. He just has everything. And today, he showed it with the captain's armband as well. Scored the winner. Probably should have had 2 goals to his name, but VAR and PGMO tried to rob us. Wasn't to be. So, yeah, fantastic performance from our captain. Didn't put a foot wrong. Forget the winning goal in terms of his defensive performance today. He was everywhere, making all sorts of blocks. He was so dominant in aerial battles. Great on the ball as well. Kept the defensive line very calm. Didn't feel the pressure. So many young players around us. He led by example. He's a true leader on the pitch. A phenomenal world-class performance from our captain there. So for me, he gets a 10 out of 10 as well. Do you know what? Give it 11. He's off the ratings, in my opinion. That's how great he was today. Konate had a bit of a shaky start, I can't lie. There were quite a few moments with Nicholas Jackson, or Action Jackson as some of us fans like to call him, where he was one-on-one against Konate, and I'm not gonna lie, he got the best of him a couple of times. But after the second half, I feel like he really grew into the game. And when Chelsea applied more pressure, I feel like that's when he stepped up and really counted in that defensive line. As the game went on, he was better, more aggressive, was winning more tackles, more dominant in the air. So I feel like his performance improved a lot during that game. Had to be taken off around extra time, I think, because he was on a yellow. Hopefully he's not an injury. You never know these days. So for me today, I'm going to give Konate a 9 out of 10. Conor Bradley, a very solid performance from him as well. Starting the game initially at right back, but due to Gravenberg's injury, had to move on to right wing and did a good job, in my opinion. Applied a lot of pressure on Chilwell. That's why Chilwell, tried to go toe-to-toe, try and, disregard the young boy's effort in terms of how he was playing. He was certainly rattled in terms of how he was playing against him. So he had a fantastic performance. Whether it was right back or right wing, I feel it was fantastic. A couple of times he came infield as well, did his thing. Top performance from our youngster there. So I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. If you're watching live, feel free to drop some comments as well. And let me know what you think in terms of our score. So back to the graphics. So Endo, Whew. Endo was phenomenal today. Gum shield Endo. That's what people want to call him. He was fantastic. What impressed me the most today was his passing. I don't think we associate that too much with Endo, but his passing was sublime today. The way he was moving the ball, good neat touches, but then he was just spraying them around. They weren't like long range passes or anything to that nature, but they were very tidy balls. Kept the ball moving, kept us playing at a good speed, and obviously in terms of his defensive duty as a CDM, he was fantastic, trying to block a lot of play. Caicedo probably had birds around his head spinning because Endo was everywhere, and I don't think he could have competed against Caicedo today. You think Caicedo was a 16 million player? Endo is not the 16 million player. He looked like a 100 million player, right? The way he plays. So, no, fantastic performance from Endo. Very, very impressed. So for me, he gets a 9 out of 10. McAllister, yeah, he was fantastic today as well. Showed his passing range, really good in terms of his all-round play. Yeah, I was very impressed with McAllister. Very good play from him. Had to get taken off. Hopefully he's not an injury. I always get worried now when I see people taken off. Hopefully it's not an injury. You know, hopefully it's just tiredness because he has played a lot of games for us. But yeah, he was fantastic today, threading some nice balls around the pitch. For me, one of our best signings in the summer, if I'm being honest. So for today's performance, I'm going to give him an 8.5 out of 10. Gravenberch, yeah, very unlucky in terms of his performance today due to that injury that he suffered. A dirty tackle from Caicedo. It wasn't given a foul. You forget a yellow, forget a red. It wasn't even awarded as a foul. That's how ridiculous it was from VAR. I shouldn't act surprised, but it's so annoying to see that because nowadays you get red cards for just pushing someone out of the way. And this was a dirty tackle. It was completely, I think it was malice. I don't think it was an accidental challenge at all. He knew what he was doing. And yeah, nothing came out of it. It looks like a dirty challenge in terms of the way his ankle flipped over. I'm just hoping it's not a serious injury. If I have to say, I'm not a medical expert, but it looks like it could be a broken ankle. Just the way he landed, I had to be stretched off as well. Yeah, it's not looking good. But hopefully we get some good news in the next few days that, you know, it's just a little sprain and it's nothing too serious. And I feel like he was building up to producing a good performance today. But because obviously he's only played a short amount of game, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10, respectively. Harvey Elliott, oh my days. He was fantastic today. He was everywhere. He was playing with real impact. That's what we say, you know, when Harvey comes on, he shows great impact. But today, he did it from minute one, showed great urgency in his play, good passing range, shooting as well. Very unlucky not to score, had a couple of volleys. Probably something he needs to practice a bit more. I think he'll get a few more down the line. But no, all-round play, he was fantastic. Considering we didn't have Salah playing today. And this is one thing that I used to always say about Elliott as well, that I feel like he can comfortably cover Salah in certain games. And people are like, no, he's not quick enough. He's not he's not a right winger. He's, you know, this, that, he's a number 10. He's like this and that. He is actually a right winger. That's where he played for Fulham. That's where he played on loan when he was at Blackburn. That is his role. He's just not as dynamic as Mohamed Salah on that right wing. So just because he's not as fast as Salah on the wings doesn't mean he can't be effective playing as a right winger. And I feel like he used the ball very well today, came into little pockets and tried to make things happen. Yeah, he was fantastic today. So for me, I'm going to give Harvey Elliott a 9 out of 10. I thought he was fantastic today. Not sure why Diaz is a -2 there. Gakpo, if I'm being brutally honest, guys, I think he had a quiet game. It's just funny that he had a couple of moments where he could have broken the deadlock, that header where he hit the post, and he had another chance later in the game. So had he scored one of those goals, then obviously you'd boost his ranking because he's on the score sheet. But in terms of his general play, I thought he was quiet. He wasn't involved as much. He worked hard, don't get me wrong, but I don't feel like he was as impactful as the other players on the pitch. So unfortunately for me, he gets a 7 out of 10, not a very high ranking in comparison to others, but still showed a good effort in my opinion. Diaz. Now, this is a funny one for me because I've seen a lot of Liverpool channels over the last week, and in the last game, I think I gave Diaz 9 out of 10, and he was my man of the match. And I've gone through so many different channels, and everyone is, I don't know, got some sort of agenda against Diaz, but they're all talking about how poor he was. He didn't do anything just because he was wasteful in front of goal. Some fans were saying, sell him. We don't need him anymore. That's the kind of level of talk it was. Now, I'm not on that boat. I think that's outrageous in my opinion. Just because someone had a lot of shots and didn't score doesn't mean that they had a good game. I thought he was very good in the previous game. Didn't score as many, but he was trying to make things happen. I'd rather have a player like that rather than having someone who scores one goal but doesn't do anything else throughout the game. You need someone to be a constant menace throughout the game, especially for that fullback. And that's exactly what Diaz was during this game. He was up against Gusto, who's a fantastic fullback. And Gusto had his moments as well. But because of Diaz's consistent play and persistence on that left wing, you saw a different level of his game today. And I thought he worked his socks off today. And he was phenomenal, in my opinion. So for Diaz, I'll give him a 9 out of 10. Now, in terms of my man of the match, obvious to say, I don't think it's debatable. Well, it's debatable between two players. Obviously, they both got the same score. But for me, there's only one winner. It's Virgil van Dijk. Scoring the winner as well. Leading by example. Kelleher obviously close second. Pretty much kept us in the game with those phenomenal saves. But yeah, scoring that goal was just, the nice icing on top of a cake that we needed. And I was glad that it didn't go to penalties due to the fact that we had a lot of young players on the pitch. If they'd missed, look, you know what finals are like. You win some, you lose some, especially on penalty shootouts. But I didn't want it to affect their confidence or affect their development going forward. So I was pleased we were able to do it within extra time and then just walk out of the pitch with the trophy. So yeah, Virgil van Dijk was man of the match for me. I'm going to review some of our subs as well. So I'll try and do this one quick. So let's put them on first. So Joe Gomez came on for Gravenberch. I'll put the players in their correct positions very shortly. And then we have Bobby Clark coming on for Bradley. So hopefully some of these players are on this website that I'm using. So let's see. So Bobby Clark is there. And then Simicas on for Robbo. Simicas. And then McConnell on for McAllister. From what I remember, I don't think McConnell's on here, but I'm going to give it a try. If I can speak his name. McConnell. Oh, he's there. Fantastic. He is there. Brilliant. And then we've got Danz, who came on for Gakpo. I don't think Danz will be on here. No. So who can I put on for Danz? We'll just have to leave it as Gakpo, but I'll mention Dan's rating later on. And Kwanzaa came on for Konate. So Kwanzaa. So let's just speak about Dan. Obviously, I can't physically present him in the team lineup. But yeah, he definitely he was fantastic when he came off. First touch was a shot on goal. Quite similar to the last game. It wasn't a shot on goal, but he made a lovely through ball to Gakpo in that Luton game and almost made an instant impact. But he was really pressing up against the Chelsea defenders, attacked the channels very well, applied pressure on them. I thought it was a very solid performance from the young striker there. So for me, he gets an 8 out of 10. Very impressed with how he performed. Joe Gomez. Let's swap these guys out. Sorry. Joe Gomez, right back. And you've got Bobby Clark, and that's about right, I guess. So, yeah, so Joe Gomez, for me, good performance from him. Took a bit of time to get into the game. I think his first sort of 10 minutes, he gave the ball away quite a few times. But as the game went on, I think he definitely showed his maturity in his play, led by example for the young players around him. And yeah, he was a solid defender. Had a shot later in the game. I thought he was going to break his deadlock. Wasn't to be, unfortunately. I did predict it. I do these wild shouts here and there. maybe I'm just trying to put it in the universe so it happens. But he'll get his goal. I'm pretty sure of it one day. I'm still saying that he will get it this season, but let's see until then. But overall, his performance, very, very impressed with him. So I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. And then Bobby Clark came on, had an instant impact, which was very good. I think his introduction gave the youngsters on the bench confidence as well, because he came on, played with no fear, played with freedom. And I feel like when they came on the pitch, they were like, oh, we can kind of replicate the same thing. So, yeah, he definitely put a shift in, worked really hard. Chilwell tried to rattle him as well. Didn't work. Yeah, he was fantastic today. Had a great impact off the bench. So for me, he gets an 8.5 out of 10. So let me just find him. 8.5 out of 10. Next player, Tsimikas. Yeah, Tsimikas providing the assist for the winning goal, which obviously boosts his ranking right away. But even before that, I feel like he had a good game. I think he was very good on the ball, presenting some great crosses in the attacking box. So no, I feel like he had a good impact, good delivery from free kicks and set pieces. So yeah, good to see him back as well. I think he was missed because he was in great form before his injury, unfortunately. So yeah, good to see him back. Some weird celebrations at the end. I haven't seen the replays, but I've heard over social media he was a bit wild on his celebration on Van Dijk. So yeah, we'll have to check it out if you want to. But in terms of his ranking, I'm going to have to give him a good one. It'll be a 9 out of 10. And one player that really impressed me when he came on was McConnell. His use of the ball was just fantastic. Great passing range. Long ball, short ball, whatever you want to do, he was really good. I remember he did one pass from the middle of the park and cut through 2-3 Chelsea players. They went right through to the right wing. Yeah, really, really impressive. Great to have players coming through the ranks. I don't think that's been spoken highly enough. I think it probably is amongst us Liverpool fans, especially in recent times. But yeah, we're producing so many gems in our academy. The future's bright at Liverpool, to say the least. So no, I was very impressed with McConnell's performance today. So he didn't play for too long, but I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. And the final player, Kwanzaa, yeah, he came on his first touch. This shows the confidence he had. Went past Nkuku, nearly got the ball off him. But yeah, he's in great confidence right now because he's played a lot of games for Liverpool, and rightly so, fully deserved in my opinion. But yeah, considering that he came on for Konate, sometimes it takes players to kind of just find their rhythm, and obviously he only had 15 minutes to really make an impact on the game. He was fantastic. He provided composure in the back line, and we looked solid because we started really attacking in that second half of extra time. So that probably goes down to him and credit to him in terms of coming in, settling in very quickly, and yeah, continuing the job. And hopefully, at that stage, he was thinking, let's get over the line and let's get the win. And that's exactly what he did for the team. So for me, another solid performance there. So that's 8 out of 10 for me. That's my ratings there, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Even if you're watching this on replay, feel free to drop a comment and let me know. Just got a few comments here, and I see a couple of callers in the back, so I'll get them on as well. Let's go. So Jay Kismet has Virgil as man of the match. Yeah, that goes without saying. I think that would be the undisputed choice right there. And that's all. Could he have seen red for the foul on Ryan? Yeah, I think that could have been red easy. But, it wasn't 11 against 11, unfortunately. The referees were on their side as well. And it always is the case, unfortunately, when Liverpool play. Caicedo should have gone today. Yeah, he should have gone today. 100%. And then Jazz, have you said? Oh, so just having a little chat there amongst each other. And then Richard says, Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam. Richard, how are you? All good, Richard. Hope you are well as well. Respect, love, hope, and togetherness to all my Muslim brothers and sisters. Congratulations to Liverpool winning the EFL Cup, and more to come, Liverpool fans. Many thanks. Many thanks, Richard. Thank you for your comment as always. Like I said, I'm not even saying it with tongue in cheek. First one on the road, 3 more to go. So let's see how our journey ends towards the end of the season. So what I'll do now, I see a couple of callers at the back. Might as well get them on at the same time. So we've got Frank and we've got Jay Kismet, who I see has changed his artwork there, which is a nice one there. Frank, Jay Kismet, how you doing, boy?
Sorry? What's your shake?
How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well. How do you think I'm doing, Ozzie? How do you think I'm absolutely delighted. You know, I can't express enough. You were mentioning the kids there. You were mentioning those kids who came on, you know, from the academy. And I had a pod before, and I was mentioning about how you felt. I'm going to ask you. I hope you don't mind me asking you this, Ozzie.
Sure.
But when you've seen the team, be honest. When you've seen the team today, did you expect us to go through, get into extra time, and win the cup? I didn't.
No. The lineup was kind of half expected due to the fact that Salah and Darwin Núñez weren't available. But when I looked to the bench, that was the concern for me in terms of having a lot of young players that were untested. I think the only senior players were Joe Gomez, and then you had Simicas, and it was Adrian, but obviously he's a goalkeeper. But the rest was like, you know, they've come on, they've done a good job, but in this kind of magnitude of a game, how would they deliver? How would they step up? And fair play to all of the youngsters that came on. They were phenomenal today. I couldn't have asked any more from them at all.
Yeah, I heard you giving them the scores, and you weren't cruel to anybody, you know, especially the youngsters, because you mentioned McConnell. Now McConnell he's being like linked with Steven Gerrard by lots of supporters. And if you've seen as well, you didn't see them, and you did mention a few of the passes, long, short, you name it. That's what Steven did, and he's just like him, in my opinion. I think he's absolutely brilliant. But our academy lads, you know, who were there on the bench and then came on. I think you've got to admire Klopp as well, because Klopp, he never feared anybody, did he? He really didn't fear anybody. No. And he sent the kids on. And don't forget that they were £1 billion team. £1 billion team. I think our little academy lads, I think they cost, a couple of hamburgers and a few puddings, if you know what I mean. And they never feared anybody. Do you know who I liked? Young Jans.
I like him as well.
What a header. If that was a corner,
that was close.
It was very, very close. And you see, but did you notice, Ozzie, the MJK, did you notice the confidence in these lads?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. There was no fear. They went out there. And also, what I think, and this is just my opinion, I think it will inspire the lads who are out injured. And I'm talking about the first teamers. I think that, you know, they'll say, well, we'll carry on the mantle when they're playing, when they're fit to play again. And I think we can go on. And I said also, I'm sorry to go on, Ozzie.
No, go for it.
I said also that I think that this squad, you know, that we're fighting for now, we've won one. You know, that's aside now. It's in the cabinet. I think that this is a far better squad than it was 2 years ago to win the quadruple. I really think that.
I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly, because when we tried to do it 2 years ago, we didn't have the strength in depth. Now we have a second string of players, but now we've got the youngsters coming through that can do a job as well. So our squad has enhanced to kind of fight in all fronts, in my opinion. So look, we can be shameless and say we're going for the cup, but we're in it. You have to be in it to win it, right? So if we're in these competitions, why not? We have to have the confidence going into the game. There's no point of being cautious about it. We've got one trophy in the bag now. We're in the Europa League. We're with Slavia Prague, isn't it? That's our next tie. We've got Southampton on Wednesday, and we're top of the league right now, 1 point away from Man City. We're playing them in 2-3 weeks' time. So look, we can do whatever we want to do, in my opinion. And I think it's fantastic to see these young players step up. And one example a few weeks ago would have been Kwanzaa when Matip was injured. And then he had that interview where I think he chose the wrong choice of words, where he said condolences to Matip for his injury. But you can kind of see that he knew this was his time to shine, because he said, this is for me to try and get as many minutes on the pitch. So they already have a winning mentality. It's not just, oh, I'm going to, cover this player here and there. They want to make a stake in the claim of being in this first team day in, day out. So I think that's a fantastic mentality to have. But there's a togetherness as well. It's not just being arrogance that, oh, I'm better than this player. There's a real togetherness in this club. So the future's bright, and it's so encouraging to see as well. And that goes down from Klopp, in my opinion. We've spoken about this before, Frank. Klopp is the glue for all of this, for making it stick right now, where everything just seems to be going through the right direction. I know he's leaving, but he's leaving us in a great position for the future. So, yeah, and I'm sure you saw the scenes of Klopp celebrating towards the end. He was jubilant throughout. Yeah.
Well, I looked at Klopp and I noticed that when he hugs people, as players, and he hugs them, and he really means it. But I was noticing him hugging these young kids, and it was like as though it was his son. His sons, he was hugging them that much, he was so delighted. He couldn't believe, what these kids gave. That's the expression. Seen in his face. I seen in his face, the expression of love and everything else that goes with it. It's like me hugging my daughter or my little granddaughter, Yeah, you show the love. And I tell you what, he showed something there that I've never ever seen before. And they, not to the first teamers, but to these young kids, because those young kids, he had faith in them, and they gave the faith he had in them back to him. And that's what I'm trying to say, about him going up to these. And you know what, as well, the camaraderie, I think I've mentioned this before with you, Ozzie, the camaraderie at Liverpool is utterly fantastic. And this is what it's all about. It's the bonding. I said at the beginning of the season, let's hope that we can get fourth, because we're only gelling. We'll have to gel these players. Bloody hell, we've gelled. And that's all that I can say about that. We have gelled, and we're only going to get better from now on.
Yeah, it's a big point you make there, because with certain players that come into first team football, especially that when you've got youngsters coming through, they're not able to kind of hit the ground running straight away, because they need to understand the tactics of playing at a higher level. But these boys, they've just grown into men as soon as they hit the pitch. Like, they've really settled in so quickly, and it's all credit to the coaching, it's all credit to Klopp. So yeah, it's a beautiful sight in terms of what the players are producing on the pitch. Jay Kismet, let me know what you think of the game. Give me your thoughts.
Yeah. Evening, guys. Good day for us, guys.
Really good day for us.
The only thing I'm saying is that we're at the bottom of the barrel now, player-wise. We've got nothing else after this. I think Klopp and Pep Linders might have to play against Southampton. But so, I'm just happy that we've got Southampton next, and then say Forest. Forest a little bit trickier, of course, but not a tough fixture. It's not like City at home, and it's not like United away or whatever it is. So I just wish this week we just concentrate on getting legs into the squad again, getting players back, and also resting maybe Virgil and say Diaz for Wednesday in the cup. Play Kwanzaa, maybe play Kanate half or whatever. But I think the only downfall of what's going to happen with this is our injuries. I think if we didn't have that injury worry as well, we would have beat Chelsea today 4-5-0, no problem. Because they were pretty poor, I believe. They had about like a 10-15 minute period at the end of the game, the 90 minutes, where they looked a bit eager and they had a few shots and stuff. And I thought, you know what? Extra time is going to be probably theirs. considering the subs we made as well. McAllister and Gakpo came off and the young lads came on. But straight away, second half, extra time came and these guys were we were on the front foot. And because of that, Chelsea couldn't get a hold of the game. And I think if we started sort of sluggish there in the extra time, maybe it would have been different. But we started well, and because of that, we won it. So, and considering the team we had and the players we had and who finished the game, it's like a miracle today, you know. So, good day. And Klopp, the gamble he chose where to sub them players, Gakpo and McAllister, it actually paid off. So, good move by him.
It was a great move because I think we were lacking energy during that period of the game as well. And I felt like having those young players come on just re-energized the whole team. And I feel like that was very key in terms of our tactics going forward, especially heading into extra time where you need runners. You can't rely heavily on quality. It is about maintaining fitness and making sure you're keeping busy, because Chelsea were a shambles at extra time. They had no legs whatsoever. They couldn't really compete with us toe to toe. So no credit to Klopp. I think he got his substitutions spot on today. The timing of the substitutions were fantastic as well. Yeah, just obviously sour note in terms of Gravenberch getting injured, because now that's another player on the casualty list. Not sure what the extent is in terms of the length of that injury. It looked like a sore one for me. Obviously, looking the replays, it didn't look nice at all. So fingers crossed it's a short-term one and he's back in the team very shortly. But yeah, it's a sad moment from a very, very positive day overall, in my opinion. Just going to go through some of the comments, guys. So Richard says, winning build confidence, build experience and togetherness to the squad. Everyone step up and congratulate to everyone. Fair play. That is a good comment. I have to agree with that one. And then Richard says, blue billionaire jobs. I like that one. And he's saying, big up to you guys. And then Richard says, whoever the next manager has a great bunch of lads that will fight for the club, badge, manager, and win trophies. 100%, Richard. I don't feel like Klopp could have left the next manager in a better condition the way he is right now. We are set for years. And I'm not just going, above and beyond because we won today. If you look at the young players, we've got other young players that are coming through as well. We've got a couple of 16-year-olds that are on the next way up. The Trent Doherty, he's one that's very highly regarded as well. So we've got some good young players coming through. So this is just a few that I've walked through, and there's more to come, which is a fantastic sight going forward. And then Richard also said 12 players injured. Hopefully these players back, rest, recover, and match fit. I hope so too. I think with Curtis Jones, it's still not clear in terms of what the length of that injury is. Jota, I think, could be ruled out for the season. He might make a late return. But with these sort of injuries where even if he returns in May, he's not really going to make too much of an impact. He might come off the bench here and there, but unfortunately, that's kind of his season out of the way. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame with regards to that. Just got another comment here from Stu Mac. Shout out to Stu Mac. He said Jurgen Klopp has a brilliant resume. One, he inherits a club whose only decent moment in 30 years was 2005 UCL fun, and even that was due to luck. Fair play. I wouldn't say it's luck, but yeah, it was a special moment regardless. He shoved Gerrard and created a far more dynamic team. I don't think he shoved Gerrard. I wouldn't go that far. Gerrard was around the time when Klopp was there, was he? So I don't think that's right. And then he has brought through youngsters considering Joe and Carragher were the last graduate. And Trent, a fine example. Yep. But the thing with Klopp, when he brings youngsters, it's not just for the sake of it. If he feels that he's ready for the team, he'll embed them in. So yeah.
Have you noticed not one youngster that's come through has had a bad game? He's like, look at the Clark lad. The Clark lad came on. Do you see how solid he was when he had the ball on him? He wouldn't let no one touch it. And I was like really impressed. I was like, he looks like a little lad, but he's pretty strong. Yeah. And I was like, I'm pretty impressed with him.
Yeah, they all did a job today. Me and Frank was talking about McConnell. McConnell was so impressive. Yeah,
he did that turn on the halfway line.
Yeah, and his passing range was just sublime. Really, really good. Just got a few more comments here. I think Stu's making quite a few points. So he said, number 4, he knocked Arsenal out of the FA Cup with under 23s and won the Carabao Cup with under 18s. Elite. And then number 5, as good as the young players are, I doubt they will ever grow as much as they would under Klopp. And transformational leadership, a genius. Scottish Sevilla fans, sorry for the blethering, it's all good, Stu. That's the thing. A lot of fans, I've heard fans say that, oh, these players, they're not going to be long-term Liverpool players. At this stage, I think it's too early to make those kind of predictions. You can only go by what you're seeing right now. Mm-hmm. But if they're producing these kind of performances for us, why can't they be at the club? They don't have to be in the starting 11 week in, week out, but they can be squad players. They can be players that you want to have in your team, because they're players from England. Some of them are local as well. So you need to have these type of players in your team. So I don't know. I feel like it's a bit too early to make those kind of predictions. Mm-hmm. I feel like right now, let's just enjoy these youngsters coming through. Let's see how they're playing. Let's see how they develop. And, long may it continue, because like Frank kind of alluded to earlier on, with these youngsters coming in, playing with such confidence as well, it gives other youngsters sort of like a chance to feel like, you know what, I can actually break into this team and really make an impression as well. So that's what you want from a football club. You want it to be where if you're a young player coming through, you're like, you're in your early teens and you've got an offer from different clubs and Liverpool are one of them, you'd probably choose Liverpool on the basis that they actually give their youngsters chances. Not teams like Chelsea or City where they recruit them, but especially Chelsea, they recruit you because of, they want to try and make a quick buck. Yeah, loan you out and they try and make a quick buck out of you. It's more of a business plot rather than developing young players through the ranks. So in terms of these young players, let's see how it goes. I don't want it to be where, we think about their future right now. Let's just enjoy the performance that they produced today, because they were phenomenal and they deserve all the flowers, all the credit today, because they were really, really impressive today.
Yeah. And it resonates, to be honest, Ozzie, and reverberates right through the academy as well.
Yes.
Besides our injured players, besides the players who are playing today, like Virgil van Dijk, who led the team. Can I say that he was my man of the match, to be honest? And, a 10 out of 10. And who came close, if you don't mind me saying this, who came close to him on a 9.5 was Kelleher. Because why I gave it to Virgil was because the way he led the team.
Yes.
The way he led it. Not only that, but he scored 2 goals, 1 disallowed, if you know what I mean. And that's why I gave him that 10. But I can't take away anything from Kelleher, because he kept us in the game with, that fantastic save from, was it Gallagher? Or Raheem Sterling? He just kept us in the game. Brilliant saves. And there was one save, I forget who it was, but anyway, he made one save. And if it would have been Ali making that save, we'd be talking about that forevermore. And most probably saying Kelleher wouldn't have got that. But Kelleher did. He's absolutely fantastic. And what a number 2 as well. I think we've got the best number 2 in the whole of the Premiership. Definitely.
Yeah. I think we've been saying it for a few years now, us Liverpool fans. We truly believe it, because the biggest compliment I can give Kelleher today, I feel like he morphed into Alisson in this game. The saves that he was making, they were so Alisson-esque, especially the blocks. Because those type of saves, they're trademark Alisson, where he comes up, he makes himself big, and you can't really get past him. That Gallagher one you mentioned was that pure example. And then the volley from Palmer in the first half, where it was like literally such short distance, but he blocked it fantastically. So, no, the ranking-wise, I gave both of them 10, but for me, Van Dijk just edged it just because of the way he led by example, and also scoring the winning goal. You have to give it to the captain there. So, yeah. But no, he was fantastic today. Yeah, really, really impressed. I hope he stays at the club, because I feel like he's good enough to go somewhere else and be a first-choice keeper. That's how much I rate him. So, might be selfish there, but I hope he stays at the club in the future there. Just going to go through some more comments from Richard. So, he says, proud of the club. Congratulations to LFC. Congratulations to yourself as well, Richard. We're all one family here. Young players will have an opportunity to buy senior players at the club. Yep, they're learning the trade from these senior players, and the senior players have kind of welcomed them with open arms as well, which is great to see because they're showing such great togetherness. You don't really see that in a lot of different clubs. So we are a special club, and you just mentioned it here is a family club. Liverpool is a family club. So no, it's such a great from us. And then Klopp took risk on the youngster and it succeeded. Yep, not just one youngster, took a risk on a few youngsters today. And the timing as well, like late in the second half. Some managers might have actually just thought, do you know what? They're too young. We can't put them in the mix. Maybe bring them on towards the extra time where we need a bit of legs. Maybe one or two of them. Klopp went bold. He took 3 off and then put 3 on. And then it just, I think they set the example from there on. And from there on, the extra time, we were just playing one level above Chelsea. We were just fitter than them. We were on the ball first as well. Showed great speed and urgency in how we play. So, yeah, really, really good in terms of the performance. And Kelleher needs to believe himself more. He has something in him. You are an excellent keeper. He is an excellent keeper. But I respect his attitude being at the club because he hasn't ever moaned about, wanting to leave. There's always been speculation around his future. But he knows, and I feel like he's sensible enough to know that Alisson is probably one of the best goalkeepers in the world right now. He's in a place where he's learning off the best. So, goalkeepers normally have long careers. They're playing up to they're 40 years old. So he has plenty of time to get into that mode when he wants to in the future. So hopefully it's at Liverpool. But I feel like he's at a good place where he does get game time because a lot of number twos unfortunately don't get any game time. Klopp has always promised our number 2 goalkeepers that the League Cup or the Carabao Cup, as it's called, is your competition. And he's always let them play the final. So this is not his first Carabao Cup final. He's played 2 years ago as well. So that's great to the manager where he always shows that togetherness and always values each member of the squad equally, in my opinion. Like he always gives them a role and always makes them feel like you're all part of it. It doesn't matter if you don't play as many games. You still contribute to an extent for our success of the club. So, got a top manager. Today, I actually felt like I think it hit me a bit more that Klopp is leaving as well. It's taken. Obviously, it's all kind of like it's old news now. But when I saw the celebrations, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna miss this manager even more now because there's no character like him in world football. So it was a bittersweet moment seeing those celebrations. But yeah, we've got the win in the end. We've got the trophy. How are you guys feeling in terms of the next fixture, which is against Southampton on Wednesday?
Well, I'll be there with my daughter and my little granddaughter.
Oh, nice.
And as JK mentioned before, I think Diaz is brilliant, by the way, and he's getting a lot of stick for nothing. They don't realise he terrorises defences, that lad. He gets the ball and he's direct. He runs at them no matter what. Right, so I think they should hopefully. I think we should beat Southampton. We should beat them easily, not easily, but I think we should go through. But I think he should rest the likes of Van Dijk and Diaz and Canete, by the way. I think he should be rested as well because I think Joe Gomez can play centre half. If I'm correct, Bradley's still got a young engine, and he can go for another few games if necessary. So I think we'll be all right there. And also Tsimikas. I think he's a cracking left back. I really do.
I do like it. Yeah.
And he comes under some stick as well for some reason. I think he's a great passer of a ball, great crosser of a ball. And I think so. The back four with Kelleher as well in goal. I think that should be all right. Midfields could be a problem, or who to pick, or who to rest for that matter. I think McAllister, he played great today, by the way. I think he should be rested also because he's played he's played the last four or five games non-stop.
Very
non-stop. So I think he should be there. I think we've got the squad there to defeat Southampton, so that we can bring in fresh players, the likes of Anzai Canete and everybody else, and for the Nottingham Forest game. But that's my take. Can I just mention also, before I finish, the fans today, Ozzie and JK, our fans were absolutely brilliant.
They were.
They were brilliant today. And when, at the end, you never walk alone.
Goosebumps.
Me. I can never, ever sing You Never Walk Alone ever again, because of every time I hear it and I'm at the grounds or wherever, I'll just choke up, because, like, as a survivor myself, I just think about 97. And, but I seen Klopp and his little backroom staff, and so even Virgil, singing to the lads, to their fans, You'll Never Walk Alone. And I think that resonated with every player, with every backroom staff, and especially with Jürgen himself. What the fans mean, to them, to the city, to the club, and the likes of me, you, JK, Richard Hutchinson, who's making comments, Taz Reynolds, who's making comments. I think it resonates with us all.
No, very well said, Frank. Yeah, I didn't know you were one of the survivors. That's very touching to hear. I agree with you in terms of the atmosphere that's produced. For one moment, I thought we were at Anfield. That's how beautifully everyone was singing the You Never Walk Alone. It was a very, very nice atmosphere. You could feel the togetherness with the fans, and even at the end when they're celebrating as well. Yeah, it was a very, very nice moment. So yeah, yeah. We are a special fan base, and I'm not just saying it from biasness. I actually do believe that we really are. Just gonna go through some comments here. So, Richard said, "Frank, daughter and granddaughter, have a wonderful day on Wednesday, FA Cup." Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Hope you guys have a great day on Wednesday. Hopefully, it's the win as well.
And Richard Frank's said, playing.
Love it. It'll be an impactful sub day, yeah. Southampton been losing 3 games in a row. We need to focus on the next game. That's a good one to know as well, actually. And then Richard said, "You never walk on," and justice to 97, justice to 97 as always. That point you made about Diaz, I thought I was the only one. So I'm glad you've raised it up, Frank, because I was losing my mind the last few days.
Yeah,
where I've seen so many Liverpool channels and the criticism, I want to call it abuse. Abuse is a bit too strong, but the criticism that he was receiving, it just didn't make sense to me. I thought maybe I need to get my eyes tested or something, because maybe I'm watching a different game, because I didn't think it was that bad. I feel like he was a constant menace. Just because he's not scoring as many goals in terms of shots he's producing and how much he's converting, doesn't mean he had a bad game. You can't just look at stats and feel like that's the end of the goal in terms of how a player has performed. Yeah. You need to really judge a player through an eye test where you watch the player, see how impactful he's been in the game. Because for me, one way of looking at a player that's done well, he's always on the ball. He's always trying to make things happen. So he's not quiet. He's not just hiding behind players. He's actually trying to get the ball, try to be direct, and try to make things happen against Luton. And he did the same thing today. So why has the tone changed among some fans where they were cussing him a few days ago, but now they're like, "Oh, he was fantastic." He has similar games, in my opinion. So I don't know. Our fan base can be a bit funny.
I just feel that instead of the logic taking over, it's like we've got 5 attackers, 3 of them are not playing at all. We've got 2 guys. You should be praying that these guys do it for us in these games instead of criticizing it. And that's the modern day fan. They got nothing to moan about. Think, you know what? Let's pick on some guy in the team. It's like I've got a few players who are not my favorites, of course, but you will never hear me going on and on about them, criticizing them. For example, Curtis Jones, I've criticized him a few times. Like, I wouldn't say he's as good as I think he should be, but I'll probably say it once in 6 months, if that. because I'll support the lad when he plays because I want him to win for Liverpool. But these fans, Diaz for me today was the one guy who always wanted to attack. He had the ball, even though he wasn't really getting anywhere. Sometimes I think you wear the team down, you wear the opposition. You know, you tire them out. You got them running over the place and everything, and that is part and parcel of the game. It doesn't matter about assists and goals. Sometimes it's the work rate you put in and how you make the defense that other team work against you. So I think Diaz is that type of winger. He's more to confuse the opposition, their fullbacks, their centre halves, get them running around in circles, and that sometimes you need that type of player.
Yeah, of course, because as I said, I've said on many occasions, he menaces the opposition.
Yes.
The opposition see him coming at them, and he can dribble, he can pass a ball, he can cross a ball. He's just a menace. Yeah. He's just and don't forget again, he tracks back as well. So he goes into the defence mode as well, you know. So I don't understand what some fans, you know, who criticise him. Yeah. Everybody gets criticised. I'm saying that. I've criticised people as well, you know, players. I've criticised Klopp in the past as well. But, you know, everybody is there to be criticised, but not the way Diaz has been like criticised recently as well. We've been winning bloody games.
And he's been scoring.
He's been great. And nobody criticise him. Just pick him out. Sometimes I think he's a bit of a scapegoat, to be honest. And don't forget that they look at Mo, don't they? They look at Mo. Mo scores. And this is why Elliott gets picked on as well. When they put Elliott on the right, they expect Elliott to be like Mo. No one's like Mo. Mo's a one-off. Mo Salah is a one-off for Liverpool Football Club. He breaks records after records after records. And people expect, you know, when he's not there, like the likes of Elliott to do what Mo does. Yeah. He can't do what he does, but Elliott does what he does best. And he's a good little player. This is all. He's 20 years of age. You know,
he played well today. Yeah.
So he was fantastic today. He was fantastic today.
He was.
Yeah, he was.
I don't know how to. It's very weird about the whole Diaz thing. Because I saw it on a lot of channels, and I find it quite bizarre in terms of why he's been made a scapegoat. And I agree with Jay Kismet. It's just the modern day fan, the social media era, I should probably say more so than anything else, where people drove into stats more than anything else. So they probably looked at his shot ratio where he missed a lot of shots, only scored one, and that's their assessment. But the thing is, you need to look at the player, see how he's performed. And for me, he's been one of our more dominant players in the last few weeks, considering the fact we've not had Salah for quite a while, and we've not had a full squad. Nuno's been out here and there as well. He's always stepped up. And one key area that you mentioned, Frank, is that his defensive duty. That's one criticism I had last year of him, where I felt like he didn't track back enough. I felt like he was out wide a bit too much, but never really helped Robertson at times during games. But he's really evolved and he's really improved in that area of his team, and he's more of a team player now. So I don't know what some of the fans see, and I feel like sometimes some fans have to pick a scapegoat. But the thing is, why are we picking a scapegoat when we're winning? It doesn't make sense to me.
Exactly. It's absolutely
yeah, enjoy it. Why do we want drama? Why are we trying to come up with negative sort of discussions about players when we're all doing so well? And you mentioned Harvey Elliott, and he's received it in the past, but I've always felt like, look at the player. What does he bring to the team? Whether he plays as a number 8 or whether he plays on the right wing, he still does a job. Whenever he comes off the bench, he's so impactful. He's dynamic. He's quick with his passing, pass and move, plays that kind of old school Liverpool way where, you know, he's moving around. He's not in one certain role. He's got a free role, playing with such fluidity when he's playing on the pitch. Encourage that player to go more when you're seeing in the sort of live presence, not to kind of talk reckless about him online and say, oh, he's not Mo Salah. like Frank said, there is no other Mo Salah. You don't get those players every day. So when you have a special talent like that, especially Mo Salah, and another thing that annoys me as well, people saying, "Oh, we should sell Mo Salah. Let's get some money for him." That annoys me as well. I don't know what's the notion is behind it, but we're in a winning position right now. I can't even think about transfers right now. I can't even think about. I think we all agree with who we want as the next manager, but I'm not thinking that far ahead because for me, we're in such a great space where we're in all competitions. We could do something really special this year. But fans want to pick out players that are doing a good job and using them as scapegoat. Gravenberch is one, and I don't know what it is with Gravenberch where he's in and out of the team. So with some players, they're not able to produce the same level of performance per game. So it depends on the opposition, depends on how many minutes they played, because he can't come on for 10 minutes and be a world beater. It just some players it just doesn't work like that because he's a centre mid. He's not a striker where if a striker comes on for 10 minutes and scores, you're going to praise him throughout the whole week. That, oh, what a phenomenal impact he made. So I find that some fans have agendas because they don't like particular players. But as Jake Kismet said, there are players where you might not like them, but you are entitled to criticize them if you don't feel like they performed well. But it has to be on merit in terms of actually tell us why do you not think they had a good game? Like explain your details. And that's probably why I do player ratings, because I'm not just going to give 10 out of 10 to everyone. I'm going to give you a rating, but give you the details of what I think he did well, what he could have improved on. That will give you a bigger picture of what I saw. I might be wrong. I might be right. It's my opinion. But I don't know. I don't like this notion of scapegoating players. We're a winning team right now. For me, it's quite bizarre to hear what we hear.
But when you look at the winning streak that we're on, I can guarantee you, I'll just say this: no matter what, like I said it to myself today because I was sitting on my own watching the game, and I said, no matter what, if we get beat here today, I'll still be proud of these kids. And I've got to say a confession. When Virgil scored that goal, I turned the telly off. I turned it off. My nerves were shot. Just over a minute ago, God, was there any injury time and extra time? I just turned it off.
Yeah.
And, then I changed it on again without the sound, and I went like this with my fingers. I looked at oh, it was fantastic.
I've done that loads of times, that one.
Terrible, isn't it? Liverpool, throughout the years, I always remember an old neighbour of mine, and I was going to match, and I said to him, I had a spare ticket. I'm going back a few years ago, and I said, do you want to come to match, George? And he went, you give me heart attacks every week. He said, I can't go. I said, I'll get your coat on and let's go. Mind you, he did come with us, with me, and we sat there. We won the game anyway, but, coming out, he went, thanks for that, Frank. I said, well, he said, bringing me, thank you so much. He said, I haven't been for years, but I knew he was a good Red. He's always supported us. And, but that still resonates with me, about bringing him. And he's got, what about the art? He said, but I've seen loads of comments, no matter if you look on that Facebook and Twitter, everything, and it's always got, it's not good for your health. Liverpool Football Club. And
it's true. It's not for the faint-hearted.
Yeah, but I think Liverpool, they sort of, how do I say this? Man United, Man United. You end up going to the doctors every day, like every other day, won't you? I think with Liverpool, we're sort of cool. I think we're on that line where we're pretty chilled. Like today, even though we had the team that started and the youth players, I still had a feeling we were going to win. It wasn't like I was only nervous for about 10 minutes when that Chelsea had their little phase. Yes. Other than that, I was like, you know what? We're okay. So for me, it could be much worse, like nail biting moments all the time and stuff. I think this season we're a bit more better that way. We're not so nervous. Second half, we sort of push on. I think it's the halftime team talks that Klopp does that gets rid of that nervousness because we play much better second half.
Good point, that, because
yeah,
you know, you've got, as you mentioned, Ozzie, or coaches or whatever you like to call them on the planet at the moment. When he came, we know a lad named Marios Manzos. He's a Greek lad from Athens, and he's written a book, and it's called, you know, about Jurgen. But what he's got is how Jurgen Klopp fits Liverpool very well, something like that. I'm just paraphrasing. And he's right, because Liverpool, we've embraced this Klopp fella. We've embraced him, and he's embraced us. He's embraced the city, and he wants the best, not just for the city, but for the whole of the fan base, no matter where you live throughout the world. I embrace our fans, by the way, you know, who live all over the planet. I embrace them because I've met some fantastic Liverpool fans, you know, very unusual fans as well, that's come over. And it's brilliant just to think. I can imagine them now celebrating.
Yeah.
I can imagine those people, those Liverpool fans, whether they're in America, South America, whether they're in Saudi Arabia, whether they're in Borneo or anywhere on the planet, they'll be celebrating today. They'll be celebrating tonight. They'll be celebrating tomorrow. And do you know what my only, I don't know whether you'll agree with me here, boys. Just imagine if this was Saturday and tomorrow was Sunday. We could have been going around the city with that cup.
It's true.
Imagine the fans coming out to, you know, to cheer them. And that's what got me, you know, and playing on a bloody Sunday. They should have played it yesterday.
Yeah, it's true.
But that's
true.
Yeah, I don't think they value the Carabao Cup as much, but yeah, that's a fair point. It should have been on a Saturday, and plus it gives us an extra day to get ready for the FA Cup tie, because our games are coming thick and fast right now as well. So they're only able to celebrate today, and I think it's back to the office from tomorrow onwards, where they can't really do much other. So,
and the owners want to save some petrol money. I think let's do it all in one. Get the 4. We'll do it all in one go. We'll save petrol money.
Celebrate for the quad, but also say goodbye to Klopp all in one parade. So, you know, they all want to save a buck here and there. So, yeah, it is what it is, I guess. It's got a few more comments here. So, Richard said Gakpo needs to improve and needs to step up. Yeah, he had a quiet game today. I will say that. But because he had that header and he had another shot later in the game, had that gone in, then we'd probably have a different kind of perception of Gakpo, because it could have been the winning goal. It could have added more to the tally. But his general play, yes, he had a quiet game today. I don't think it was as impactful. He certainly worked hard, but I'm not doing him as a scapegoat for that, that's for sure. But I just felt like he was less impactful in comparison to the other players, because even the players that came off the bench, I thought they hit the ground running. All those young players that came on, they really did a job. So yeah, but that's no shame in terms of if you've played slightly less than other players. He was still, I would say, helpful in terms of how we played as a team, and then obviously got the win in the end. We're one team, we're not playing a game of individuals here. So, we win together, lose together. So I feel like he had a quiet game, but yeah, that's, I guess, a fair assessment of his performance there. And Richard also said Gravenberch has a high ceiling, needs to improve and adapt with the squad. That'll take time, because he's come from a club where he hardly played. He was pretty much inactive for 1 year. So he's still finding that rhythm, and he's shown so many glimpses throughout his cameos where we know there's a player there. So next season, I'm pretty confident that he will show his true potential, and then the fans will see the real Gravenberch in next season, years to come as well. And final comment from Richard says, LFC kids, congratulations, fantastic and wonderful. Yeah, LFC kids won it today. Let's be brutally honest. So
that's what Chelsea fans were saying on their chats and stuff. Like, we lost the Liverpool C team.
Yeah.
You know what, though, JK? I think that's no matter what, I reckon that the win by Liverpool today will be undermined because what people will be saying, I'm not talking about us Liverpool fans, what other people will be saying is that Liverpool were lucky. They got lucky. Liverpool are a bogey side to Chelsea because they've lost so many finals to us. Liverpool, Chelsea bottled it. And all these like excuses, instead of saying Liverpool just, especially what you said, Ozzie, especially what you said, and you hit the nail on the head. Extra time, Chelsea were legless.
They were.
And then we came out with those young kids who could run up Mount Everest and down again and not be able to back, if you know what I mean. And, we destroyed Chelsea in that extra time. We destroyed them. If anyone, I said it myself, honestly, I said, if anyone's going to score, it's going to be us. We seem to have an extra 2 men in that team in extra time, an extra 2. We were all over the place. Absolutely brilliant. Running everywhere, those kids. And there we go, we did it. And it was absolutely brilliant. But I turned it off for a minute ago. After Bale scored. I'm a coward.
No, to be fair, people have to put context into this game because just because the 1-0 result doesn't mean it was, we were lucky or whatnot. I feel like if you watch the game, we were against the odds, let's be honest, because we had a lot of young players in our team, but we really, really worked hard as a team and made it happen. Chelsea had a lot of senior players. They had players coming off the bench that were, probably 50-odd million players, because I don't know how much they're worth now. They spent $1 billion on wasting so many players over the years. I feel like, because I saw a tweet, not that I respect him or anything, but Piers Morgan said something along the lines that, if Klopp is celebrating a Carabao Cup, it kind of shows why he's leaving. It's not about just winning the Carabao Cup. Kind of take the context out of what the competition is. Exactly. Look at the cup final. This is a cup final that we just played. Look at the level. Because there is no team that would have done what we've done. And I'm being genuinely honest, because our young players, they're not just players that have just come through the ranks. They're players that embody the way we play as a club. And I feel like they're a great reflection of our future as well. And the way they played, with no fear, play with such freedom, it doesn't happen often, in my opinion. So fans will always belittle this competition, but hey, it's the 10th time we've won it. When can you say a team has won a cup 10 times? Very rarely can you say any competition, even if it's a Mickey Mouse Cup, every team hasn't won that 10 times. Does that make sense? So you have to really appreciate what Liverpool have done today. Just because we've been in 3 finals in a row, we're not the bogey team. We've just been a better team on the day. Let's just be brutally honest. It's not anything about this sort of like luck or anything. We worked hard for that win today. It wasn't given to us on a plate. We really had to work our socks off. Every player on that pitch did that today. So you have to give credit to our team, and you have credit to the young players that came through as well. So some fans can be shameless in terms of their assessment. Watch the game. If you didn't watch the game, I don't really want to hear your opinion about the game, because you really need to watch a game to tell me what you thought of it, not to see stats or a little highlight here and there. You can't really give me your verdict from watching a highlight. You need to watch the full game and give me context from there on. So some fans are so you've got to take it one way or at the other. It is what it is. But yeah.
Plays against the ref, by the way. How many fouls at that?
Oh my God.
You don't make 11 fouls or something like that. Even my daughter texted me. She was with a couple of cousins of hers, and she texted me and she said, "Hey Dad, Casiato's made 6 fouls and he hasn't even been given a yellow card. He hasn't been cautioned once. And then, he committed a further 6 or whatever. And not one caution did he get right through. I think it's shocking. I really did think that was shocking. the statistics on his behaviour on the pitch.
Yeah, because I think he wanted to prove a point to why he cost 110 million or 105. I think we were the opponents, and he was thinking, I'm going to show Liverpool what they missed out on. And look what he was doing in that game to show that, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's why he was a bit on a bit of a bully sort of mindset today. He's thinking, I want to hurt one of these guys, whatever it was, you know? And he did what he did to Gravenberch. He stood on his foot and his ankle.
That was
And it
shocking.
was... And you know what he did at the same time? He looked away. And I always say this: the guy knows where his foot is when he's looking away. Don't think we were born yesterday. Come on.
Yeah.
And the thing was, VAR didn't once say to the ref, you know what, go and have a quick look at this.
Yeah.
And I think with that there and then, I thought, you know what, this VAR situation on a few occasions this season has taken us to the cleaners, you know. And I think that today was a perfect time for him. They sent the guy for our offside for Endo, where he was blocking Colwill. They sent the guy to the TV, didn't they? As soon as they sent him, I knew that goal's disallowed. So why didn't they say to the ref, go and quickly look at Casado's challenge? What do you think? But they don't do it, you know? That's the failure of VAR.
Well, you know, I know that we say it's corrupt and everything else, but I think they do. It's not like against Liverpool. I think the agenda is against Klopp himself, because remember when he went berserk? I forget what game it was, and he ran down. He was like arguing with the referee, and then we got I forget who it was against. Then we got a winner, and he ran down to the assistant referee, and he was doing all this. You know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Remember that? And I think because of that, I really do. We'll teach you a lesson, because they're the little clique. The referees are the little clique. And I really thought that the best ref, in my opinion, in the Premiership is Michael Oliver. And I think he should have officiated today myself. I really do. Because I think he was being, that casino was being well and truly cautioned. But I was cautioned today proves something that there is an agenda, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even the goal. Did you mention the goal, Ozzie? You know, that was late coming on. Because to me, there was nothing wrong with that goal.
Oh, God. Yeah. Don't get it.
And they were blaming Endo. Can I just say something about Endo?
Yeah.
Endo, he's the only player in Liverpool's football team that finds players in space. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, his passing's underrated.
Oh, he just finds them. They're in space. Sometimes, you know, some of our players, you know, give a ball to someone and there's two fellas on it marking them, which is absolutely... But he finds players in space and they're away. Brilliant.
Yeah. Very neat on the ball. And it's not even like the Hollywood passes that he goes for. It's like very neat and tidy to the feet. That's the type of passing that he's doing. So, no, I think it's very underrated in terms of what he's doing.
Yeah. What did you think, Ozzie, of that goal? Did you think it should have stood?
Yeah, it should have stood. That sort of challenge is day and night. It's normal stuff in a free kick situation where that's not like a special block. And Cole would not have gotten Van Dijk even if he wasn't blocked by Endo there. There was no way Cole was going to get Van Dijk. So that's a pathetic argument from the referees to say that, oh, it's a technical foul, all that stuff. It's not a technical foul because he wouldn't have got to that player. And there's so many defenders there, so many players amongst each other. You can't tell me that no one was touching each other. It's a contact sport. You are going to make blocks here and there. And I just feel like it was a ridiculous... I had to literally sit down and think, what? Because they said it was technical offside first. And then they alluded to saying that, oh, it's a foul from Endo on Cowell. I was like, make your mind up. Is it a technical offside? Is it a technical foul? What is it? They're just making up all these terms just to kind of justify what happened. It was a goal. And I'm annoyed that it was not given to us. Obviously, we got the win, so I'm not as angry as I was earlier on. That was a goal, 100%. Thankfully, it didn't cost us in the end. But yeah, frustrating from VAR, frustrating from PGMO. Yeah.
I think, yeah. because Endo was in the same area as Van Dijk. That is the only reason why they gave it. I think if Endo was a little bit more to the left, a few players down, he wouldn't have been interfering in play, if you understand my point. And that is the only reason why I think, they could have gave that offside, because he was right next to Van Dijk and in that area where their players were, and that is the only reason why they did it, bro.
Yeah, well, I think it's harsh. I think it's harsh, to be fair.
I do. I think it's very. I don't know whether it was against Brentford or someone. I don't know. It was only the last couple of games where you actually see Jota being dragged down in the area.
Mm-hmm.
He was dragged down in the area. And I went like, that's a penalty. And Michael Oliver actually was officiating the game. He was the ref. Oh, what game was it? Yeah, I think it was Brentford. I'm not quite so sure. But he was dragged to the floor. And I said, that should have been a penalty. Yet, there's Enzo today being, cautioned. Well, not cautioned. Given this stupid foul away, but it wasn't a foul, if you know what I mean. Because it's happened. It's a contact game.
He never got a yellow card. He never got a yellow card today.
Yeah.
That was mad. I was thinking he's going to get a yellow card, but he never.
Yeah. No, I used to. That's me worry about Enzo. With little yellow cards, because I've always said he'll get sent off in a game, and that's
but he's improved, I think, in that way. He's a bit, he's like today, for example. He didn't really look like he's going to give a yellow card away. You know what I mean? He's like, you could just tell sometimes a player's going to give a yellow card soon. You know what I mean? But today he just felt like he was a bit more controlled, and he every game he gets sort of better with his discipline in that way. I think when he's fresh coming into the Premier League, he wants to show people how he plays. So he's going to get into a few challenges where he's going to get yellow cards. And sometimes he does sort of good fouls at good times.
Professional fouls.
And I think we need a player like that. We need a player like that sometimes.
Yeah, of course. And I'd tell you who else has learned a little thing as well. And I'll tell you who it is. Remember Darwin being caught offside numerous times during the game? He's learned to hold the line.
There you go.
He's learned to hold the line now. And that's why he's so dangerous. Whether, people saying, he's only dangerous because he gets caught offside. But with him holding the line in the last few games, he's more than dangerous, isn't he, really? He's chaos. But, we missed him. We missed him today. I'm not being funny. I know we won and whatever. We missed Mo. We missed Labozlai. Just imagine the players we missed. Just imagine the players we missed. And we won. That's the beauty of it. That's the
craziness.
Of their squad.
Yeah. It would have been definitely a high scoreline. But that's the beauty of our game. We still managed to get the win in the end. So it's all good from our side. Frank, J Kismet, thank you for coming on the show. Appreciate it. But Frank, I will make an appearance on your show. J Kismet did send me a link the other day. I just wasn't able to come on during that time. But please reach out to me again. I'd love to come on your channel.
Will do, bro.
Every time for you, there'll always be a link, so just
appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, Ozzie, thank you so much for having me on. Okay.
Okay. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Celebrate until the morning if you have to. But good speaking to you guys as always.
Bye-bye.
Peace, guys.
Take care. Cheers. I just got one more guest to the show, and you know who it is. Uncle Rods. Talk to me.
Listen, you know what is, I'm doing this intermittent fasting, right?
Okay.
18 hours. But you know what? Due to the result today, I'm actually celebrating, so I'll start back tomorrow.
Love it.
No Pringles, man. What a game, Ozzie. What a game. Woo. You know what is it, today? We talked about this the other day, didn't we, on the match reaction. hopefully we have smiling faces on a Sunday night when you do your show on that. I said hopefully, but I said that they would, you know, I was confident. I said I was just like confident that we can get it over the line. However, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not gonna be a hypocrite. When today Vinny O'Connor said that, you know, he hasn't seen Salah, Nunes, and Szoboszlai, I was getting a little bit kind of shaky. Do you know what I mean? Because I thought, so bloody hell, we're literally down to the bare bones. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then sort of like, obviously, when you know the team news come out and it was confirmed that Salah and Nunes and Szoboszlai are not going to be in the squad. Do you know what I mean? They were there, but not going to be in the squad. My confidence started to go down a bit because I thought, you know, it's bare bones. And I thought, you know what? All we can do at the end of the day is do what we can, innit? Go out there, do what we can, put on the best performance that we can. You know what I mean? However, when I saw Liverpool start playing in that, I thought, ooh, okay. Do you know what I mean? I thought, okay, we might need to get something out of this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of like I got pissed off at the end because it's the same thing each and every time and day with these officials. And I think so. No wonder Klopp's leaving because he's probably fed up with these officials. Do you know what I mean? You know, because number one at the day, right? Can't say that and day. Do you know how much? Do you know how many fouls he committed in that game? 11 fouls he committed in that game, and nobody said anything to him. No. They didn't say nothing to him. Yeah, that foul on Gravenberch is a sending off. It is a red card. It is a red because that sort of challenge, when you look at it, isn't a career-ending challenge, right? And you're telling me he didn't even get a talking to? Do you know what I mean? Then there was obviously the Virgil van Dijk's first goal, which should have stood. Do you know what I mean? It should have stood, yeah. And they're saying that was it because Caldwell could have got to the ball. How do you know that?
No.
But how do you know that? You know what I mean? What kind of weak ass excuse, yeah, are you trying to give for your incompetence? And I'll tell you something, right? My friend Cal from Coppage and they called it out, even at the sort of like half time, and obviously you know with the Gravenberch situation, he goes like, if people at the day are making mistakes after mistakes after mistakes after mistakes, yeah. It doesn't become a mistake. It becomes corruption. Do you know what I mean? And it's like directed towards us because what this guy said on 5 Live was at the end of the day, right? One of the commentators said like he's playing like devil's advocate. Then he goes, I can understand why they didn't give this sort of like the goal because of like, you know, Endo's challenge on sort of like Caldwell. He's kind of holding him back and this and that. And what the guy was saying at the day says like challenges are made like that every week in the Premiership, and nothing happens. Do you know what I mean? So if you're gonna give if you're gonna disallow the goal for that, yeah, well disallow the goal for everything that's like that. Do you know what I mean? Don't just disallow it because it's Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? Mike Dean and they were trying to say it and they sort of like trying to justify the decision. And Carragher was saying to him, look, he goes, people stand in front of the goalkeepers all the time and nobody says anything. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So Mike Dean's still trying to justify this decision. So Carragher goes to him, like, all right then. So if you're saying that then, so we should give like we should disallow goals in the day when people stand in front of the goalkeeper then. Do you know what I mean? Mike Dean goes, maybe. He goes, yeah, right, Mike. Do you know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying? But taking that away, let's take all that away because at the end of the day, Liverpool Football Club, we're fighters. We will fight adversity. Do you know what I mean? And we'll keep on fighting. Those kids at the end of the day that came out today and put on that shift in the day, right? They done every Liverpool fan proud. Do you know what I mean? Every Liverpool fan proud. And the fact at the day, people like Dan's, people like McConnell, people like was it Bobby Clark? Do you know what I mean? You know, Kwanzaa. I think when Bobby Clark and McConnell was in midfield, yeah, you know, they literally in the extra time, all of extra time in the fact, they literally controlled that midfield.
Yeah,
they ran that midfield. You know what I mean? You know, and it was just so amazing to see these young kids at the day, right, putting so much effort and pride and pride. It was just unbelievable. You know what I mean? Unbelievable. And big Virgin, they deserved that goal. I think in the day, we were at the end of the day, we were the better team. We, you know, it's the day. Gary Neville goes, was it Jurgen Klopp's kids just beat the billionaire bottlers?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a line.
That's a line, though. It's so refreshing to see, Ozzie. It was so refreshing to see sort of like these kids come on there and put their heart on the line and everything and say, right, you know what? We're fighting for Liverpool Football Club. We may be young and everything, but we're going to give you 100% effort. And, you know, I just think today we have got a special team. We have got a special manager. You know what I mean? I don't even want to think about, obviously, you know, he's leaving at the season. I don't want to think about that. But today at the day, he gave me a match at Nave that I will remember for years to come. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
It's true.
I will remember years to come. Do you know what I mean? It was so good.
No, it was so impressive. I kind of share that sentiment where you said in the beginning where when you saw the lineup, you were slightly concerned. For me, it wasn't the lineup, it was the bench where I feel like there was a lot of inexperienced players there. So I thought, okay,
yes.
It's going to be a tough afternoon. But look, we've seen Bobby Clark make cameos in the last few weeks. We've seen McConnell as well. But then we saw Dan's coming off against Luton the other day. So they've had some sort of like taste of first team football, right? But the way they performed today was beyond their years, in my opinion. Beyond their years. Because to do it in a very high-pressure game of a cup final, despite if it's League Cup, FA Cup, doesn't matter. It's a cup final. So for you to do it in that magnitude of a game shows you what mentality these boys have. You know, we call our team mentality monsters. It's been inherited on these young players now. They've got it. So the way they all came on, and I thought the impact they all showed from the bench was fantastic. All of them. They all had a part to play. Dan's was pressing from the front, did really well up top. And then you had McConnell, who I was so impressed with his passing range. McConnell, short, long, whatever, great passing ability. And Bobby Clark, nippy player as well, really good with his dribbling, tries to make things happen, very energetic. Good to see. And Kwanzaa, we know Kwanzaa. We've seen Kwanzaa over the last few months. So positive in terms of what we have with the young players coming through. And yeah, I agree with you. We were the better team. This wasn't won by luck. It was just due to the fact that we didn't have our full squad. We didn't have our weapons on the bench like our attackers that we normally do to come and change the game. We had to play in a different style. We had to really use our energy, especially in the extra time. And I have to give Klopp so much credit for that second half substitutions because most managers might not have done that. They might not have played three youngsters straight away. They wouldn't have taken off McAllister and Robertson, these type of players, and Gakpo. They would have just kept them on due to experience and stuff like that. But he had faith in his youngsters. They were like, do your thing. Go on the pitch, do your thing. And that's exactly what they did. So that comes from our manager, where he gives these youngsters the chance, but not just gives them a chance to have minutes under their belt, gives them the chance to actually flourish and play and make an impact in the game. And now they're all, you know, despite what happens in the future in terms of their Liverpool career, we will always remember what they've done in this final, because this was a final where the odds were against us. We weren't supposed to win this one. You know, Klopp's kids, they did the job today. They won the game for us. So look, it's a great day. It's a great day for the future of the club, because we're seeing these hidden gems coming through the ranks. And yeah, it's a beautiful sight. And obviously beating Chelsea makes it even more sweeter as well at the same time.
It does. I mean, to be honest today, so like, you know, who would have thought at the day, sort of like Dan's at the day, this is his second game. Imagine the day, come on as a substitute, and then you get about 5 minutes run out, right? And then next game, you're in a cup final. If you'd have said to these players in the day, these youngsters in the day, right, at the beginning of the season, and you're going to play a cup final at the day this season. You're going to be playing in the cup final. They would have said to you, I don't believe you. They would have said, literally, I don't believe you. Do you know what I mean? But look what happened now. Do you know what I mean? And it goes to show and everything. It goes to show. I think in the day, right, they need games like this. And yes, it's all right bringing them in, because I was having a conversation with this guy in a group and everything, and he agreed. It's okay at the end of the day bringing them in, sort of like, when you've got the game won, you're like 3-0 up or 4-0 up, you know what I mean? And you got the game won, and you bring them towards the end, like 5 or 6 minutes towards the end. That's fine. But when you actually look at the situation, are they really learning anything from that situation there? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. These are the games at the day that you get to see at the day what they're actually made of. Do you know what I mean?
Correct.
It's a risk. Do you know what I mean? But risks are there to be taken. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So these are games that he's shown what he's made of, and like they've literally passed the test. They stepped up to it. So now Jurgen Klopp knows it, and well, I can put these guys in any situation now. These guys are ready to go in any situation and that is possible. Do you know what I mean? And I think at the day, this is a great thing to have, because we know at the day, it's sort of like with the injuries we've got at the moment and stuff, it's kind of like we need these youngsters, and we need these youngsters to step up. So now Klopp knows that well, look here, I can bring these youngsters in now.
Yeah,
and they're gonna do what needs to be done. Do you understand what I'm getting at? Do you know what I mean? And it's a good sign. And I think this is what Liverpool is based off. This is a philosophy at the end of the day that sort of like 60 odd years ago that Bill Shankly come in and implemented it into the squad. You know what I mean? Into the squad. He said at the end of the day there's only 2 teams at the day in Liverpool and Liverpool reserves. That's what he said. You know what I mean? That's what he said in there. And when you look at it, it's turning out like that. Do you know what I mean? So Klopp, I always say that Klopp at the day, to me at the day, he's a reincarnation at the day of like Bill Shankly. I was stand on it. The fact that he's a reincarnation of Bill Shankly, because what he's done since he's come into the club it's reminiscent, of Bill Shankly. And for a German, because remember today, he's not from England, he's from Germany. For a German guy to come in and get it like that, he got it just like that. He knew what the club was all about, and said, right, you know what I mean? This is how we're gonna do things. You know what I mean? And he reincarnated. Do you know the boot room and then he reopened the boot room, and his wife at the day was sort of like was running the boot room. Do you know what I mean? These are all traits and of Bill Shankly, my friend. You know what I mean? And what he's done now, in the day, he's laid a dynasty in the day. So like he leaves at the end of the season and now in the he'll pass on to the next manager, right? Whoever it is, whether it's sort of like Alonso or that guy from Sporting Lisbon. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Right? He will hand this on to them and say, right, this is a blueprint. I've done it all for you now. Now it's time for you to carry this on. Do you know what I mean? He's left the club. He'll be leaving the club in the best shape it's ever been. Do you know what I mean?
That's
and
true.
it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful to see it all raveling, you know what I mean, in front of our eyes. It's just great. And today was a day at the day, right, that you will never forget. You know what I mean? The players at the day done us proud.
No, very well said. Yeah, huge praise there. But I agree. I think with Klopp, he was just tailor made to be Liverpool manager. There's not a lot of managers that can come in and manage a club the way he has, and I feel like we're very fortunate to have someone that's come through and has done so much for the club. And like you said, the way he's leaving the club right now, you couldn't leave a club in a better position the way Klopp has done. Like, we're sorted in terms of our structure for the academy, going into the first team. Whoever comes in, they've got a ready-made sort of weaponry ready to go next season. So no, it's fantastic to see. Just got a few comments here, Uncle Ross. So got Vasos Flowers. It says Todd Bowley just prank called me. We won the cup. You guys never do well. No ball. It took me 5 minutes to shut him up. And then he wrote, and I screw crap at will. Be warned, Bowley. And then he also wrote, close a bit. We are Liverpool. We are Liverpool indeed. And then he's also said, Roz speaks red. And then he's also said the lingo. And we are primed to blow next season. We certainly are, Vase of Flowers. I think we are primed to blow next season. Just another comment here from Madison. Shout out to Madison. He said, did this game say more about the Liverpool youngsters or Chelsea's current state? Good question. What do you think, Uncle Rods?
More about the youngsters. More about the youngsters. Because listen, they've got like, they've literally probably had about £1 billion on the pitch. And they, if you cannot do at the day anything at the day with £1 billion at the day, well, sorry, at the day you ain't worth nothing. You know what I mean?
You're in the wrong business.
You know what business, and you're in the wrong business. And another thing as well, you know, what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Money doesn't buy you success. It doesn't buy you success. Do you know what I mean? We had like when our players at the day, no matter who came on that pitch today, they had passion and they had desire. Do you know what I mean? To win that cup, and also as well. Look at the guys on the bench. Yeah, the guys on the bench at the day. I'm telling you, and they was actually fuming at the day that they couldn't play today. Do you know what I mean? Because of injury and everything injury. They was fuming. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But yet at the day, they gave at the day sort of like, you know, the people on the pitch, they gave them at the day sort of like, you know, enthusiasm. Said, yeah, even towards them, which was a very nice moment. Like Virgil hugged Danz. He hugged Danz and everything that, right?
Yeah.
Jaden Danz, I think his name is. He hugged him and said, like, very well played, young man. Very well played. Do you know what I mean? Now, you get that sort of praise at the day from Big Virgil, you know what I mean? The captain of the team and that. What does that do for you? So I say, yeah, it says more about the youngsters and the more about the way where Liverpool Football Club is to where Chelsea is. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You got your own problems. Go and sort that out. Do you know what I mean? Because Carcedo and Lavia could have come to Liverpool, but you chose to go over there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's fine. That's good.
I couldn't agree more with you. We all, and I don't mean to be rude. We all know what the state of Chelsea is right now. This is not like the first time I've seen a Chelsea team that's rubbish. They've been rubbish for about 2 years now. So regardless of how much money they spent, they haven't done it right. They've done it in a way where they're playing FIFA career mode, they're buying players left, right, and center, but they don't have no strategy, nothing really in place to actually work as a club together where they're like, you know what, we've got a project, we want to do this, we want to do that. Nothing. It's just buying players. It's kind of like flipping it where you're buying players to sell on to make profit. That's what they're doing. It's a business strategy. It's not a football development kind of project. So look, for me, it was more about the youngsters because they showed that when you give these youngsters a chance, this is the kind of level that they produce in terms of performances. Because Chelsea, I'm from London, and I know Chelsea have one of the best academies. But do you see them coming through to the first team? No, because their paths are blocked. Because they buy so many players left, right, and center, they block their development. So they're out on loan in whatever countries they are, and they don't really fulfill their potential. Prime example would be Callum Hudson-Odoi. He was supposed to be the next big thing. It didn't work out for him, unfortunately. So that comes down to how they run as a football club. That's the difference between us and them. Liverpool know how to nurture talent. We know how to, give these players a chance. Whether it's, even if they don't fulfill their huge potential, we've given them the platform to go on and do other paths in their career as well. So, for me, definitely about the youngsters today. And it's all praise to the youngsters that we got the win today. If it wasn't for them, I don't think we would have got the victory because all of them had a great impact on the game. And they might not be on the score sheet, doesn't mean it doesn't paint the picture. They were very pivotal in how we were playing today. So, no, credit to all the youngsters today. Just got a few more comments, Uncle Ross. So, Razor Flower says $1 billion in a Dr. Evil voice there. The blue $1 billion. He's evil Todd. Yeah, he's an evil Todd, isn't he? And an evil Ken Bates, Motel, Mum, less league titles than Everton. Yeah, that's shameless.
Well, just imagine, yeah. Imagine this, yeah, right? Jaden Danzig today, he's got more trophies than Harry Kane.
Oh, hey. that would be saying something. A poor Harry Kane had to go to Germany to try and get a trophy, and there's no guarantee he's going to get there either.
He's not, because I think they're out of the German.
I think they are. You're right.
Yeah, they're not going to win the league because Leverkusen are going to win the league, and it's a bit dodgy. And they sort of like with the Champions League, because remember they lost the first leg against Lazio.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? So, boy,
I'd love to see that. That'd be amazing. You know.
Oh my God, it's so good. It's good to be
back. Our kids know what a trophy is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Harry Kane hasn't got a hand on one right now. Might have a hand on a cup. There's probably a cup of tea more than anything else. So
I'm already there.
He's not winning any trophy anytime soon. But
I'll take it from me in the day. The tea in Germany is crap. You know what I mean? Take it from me. I know. You know what I mean?
But no, these youngsters, they deserve it. They deserve this cup win today. It was such a fantastic game. And the good thing, well, not the good thing, but good thing for these youngsters, they will get some opportunities going forward because we've got such a long list of casualties right now. We've got an FA Cup match on Wednesday. How are you feeling about the game against Southampton?
Again, I'm feeling confident. I'm thinking to myself, look, and then hopefully we should be able to get Szoboszlai and Nunes and Salah back for that game. Do you know what I mean? I'm hoping, fingers crossed and all that, we should get him back. I think today and then they only just obviously failed the test. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I think today was a situation that it was 70-30 that they can play. Yeah. But what it was in the day, Klopp with the recent injury, he didn't want to risk it. So he thought, Charlie, you know what? Let me deal with the kids. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I do think at the day, so like likes of Nunes, Salah, and Szoboszlai will be playing on Wednesday. Should be playing on Wednesday. Do you know what I mean? So you get them back in, and then you got like obviously Bradley, and and you got your Endo hopefully as well, because he was on had a foot brace, didn't he? Had like a foot brace because he gave his all today. He gave his all. I think it was fantastic. And he was phenomenal, wasn't he? He's phenomenal. But I think that's more of a kind of like a precaution. You know what I mean? More caution than anything. So we should have a bit more. You know what I mean? To the 11. You know what I mean? So I'm confident they listen. Hey, if the kids can go out and do that today, there's no saying that they can't do that to Southampton. Do you know what I mean?
True. So true.
Yeah. So I'm confident. From what I see today, I'm very confident that we can sort of like get sort of like Southampton at the way, and then sort of like we've got like Forest on the weekend, but one game at a time. So I'm confident. I'm confident. You know what I mean? So yeah.
No, definitely. Yeah, I'm confident as well. I think from what they've shown today, I know they're ready to play in upcoming games, whether it's an FA Cup game or even a Premier League tie. I have confidence in these players where McConnell, in terms of his passing range that he showed against the Chelsea team, whether you rate them or not, is still a decent team in the Premier League, right? So he showed levels against the midfield that probably cost around 250 million for what we know. So yeah, they did a great job today. So no, fair play to them. Base of players, so let's goof on Chelsea. Yeah, we'll have plenty of time to do that because for me, it's about Liverpool today. It's about how we won today. They're a joke of a club, so it is what it is.
I love it. I love it.
And then Madison with another comment says, does this cup carry more weight for you considering the circumstances compared to other league cups? I think it possibly does, to be fair. It was just the magnitude of how we won today because, like I mentioned earlier on, it was against all odds because we had a weakened team and we had kids on our bench. Let's just be frank with it. So these players were actually the reasons why we won the games. That's what makes it so beautiful in terms of, these youngsters came on, made a name for themselves today. Whether, whatever the future holds for them doesn't matter. Today they did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
So for me, it felt special. And I think Klopp actually said afterwards it was one of his best cup wins ever. He said something along those lines. So that, because he's saying out of context, not because of the trophy, it's because what the players gave. All the players, every player on that pitch worked their socks off. Doesn't matter who the name is. Kelleher for me was phenomenal today.
Oh,
he was morphed into Alisson. I mentioned this earlier on. That was Alisson on the pitch.
I know, innit?
Some of the players they were.
That's some body snatcher business, isn't it? Body snatcher. Alisson literally, and they snatched his body for the day, man.
I know. Some of the says he pulled off. I was just like, man. I felt confident. I'm not gonna lie.
Do you know that double save? Well, yeah, double save.
Oh yes.
Because I think what it was, he saved one with his feet, and then sort of like one of the defenders that they knocked it out, and then they come back. And then did you see that he kind of what he did? He flicked it up and catched it, didn't he?
Yeah.
He kind of flicked up with his foot. You know, I think it was like a shot by Endo or something like that, but he flicked up with his foot and just caught it.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're taking a piss.
Man, in confidence right there. No, that moment I was like, how did we not concede it? Because that just felt like it was gonna hit the back of the net at some point. I was just like, yeah. When you see those kind of moments, you're thinking it might be our day today. So thankfully it was in the end. Another comment from Base of Flowers. He says, how come that rich fella from Chelsea hasn't told the Queen to lop off her heads off on his questions, not tightness? I don't know. We'll just we'll leave it at that. 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 But Uncle Roz, thank you for coming on the show. Always a pleasure to speak to you. We were saying it was going to be a celebration show. We put it in the universe. We made it happen. Onwards and upwards.
I broke my fasting because of this. I broke my fasting. You know what I mean?
I appreciate
I was supposed to be eating out fasting, but I'm starting back tomorrow.
Yeah, I was going to say, enjoy the rest of your evening. Milk it as much as you want. Start your fast from tomorrow. Yeah, it's a special day. It's a special day. And one of many. One of many, because we're still in 3 other competitions. Hopefully it'll be a 4th one or get the pod in the end. That's the dream right now. But yes, Uncle Roz, thank you for your time as always. And I'm sure we'll be speaking very, very soon.
Definitely. Good night and God bless, care, bro. My friend.
Appreciate it. Good night as well. And that's Uncle Roz right there. So guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the comments. So many to go through. Thank you to the likes of, and for Uncle Roz, who obviously made an appearance on the show as well. Daz, Jay Kismet, who also came on the show. Frank, thank you to Frank who came on the show. We also have Richard Hutchinson, thank you for your comments. We've also got Stu Mack, and we also have Vase of Flowers for your comments. Thank you for your contribution, guys. Appreciate it as always. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Jake can say top show, guys. You know, welcome. Let's go win everything. That's it. I've been saying it all season. Quad talk. Let's go for it. So yeah, a great win for us, guys. In terms of upcoming content, like the squad tonight, we'll celebrate and enjoy the win, but there's no rest for the wicked. I'll be back on Tuesday with 2 shows. So the first show, I'll be doing a Premier League Match Week 26 review at 10 p.m. UK time. And then the second show will be a match preview of Liverpool versus Southampton in the 5th round of the FA Cup. So yeah, a lot of content coming up for you guys. So yeah, what a victory it was. Enjoy the win. Enjoy the rest of your day or evening, wherever you are in the world. And I'm sure I'll speak to you all very, very soon. Goodbye.